Hey everybody, hope you guys are healthy and safe. So I'm very excited to make today's video because the Geminos dual stacked monitor is one of my favorite gadgets, not just of 2023, but maybe of like the last 12 months. That's because if you follow my work, you know I've always been a sucker for dual screen things. That's why I love the Microsoft Surface Duo so much, even though the software of this device is pretty mediocre. But just the ability to run two apps side by side at the same time, or run one app spanning across both screens for a larger canvas, it's very exciting to me, and it helps me with multitasking, do things faster. The Geminos monitor is basically a larger version of the Microsoft Surface Duo without the software problems. Now, the benefits of having two monitors should be apparent. You can run two things at the same time, both displayed in full size. But a lot of you guys may be wondering, well, what's the benefit of this over just having a conventional two-screen monitor setup, which a lot of you guys probably have? In my opinion, having a vertically stacked display makes more sense in 2023 as we do more things but also consume a lot of vertical content. For example, right now I'm running two things at the same time, which you can also do on a side-by-side monitor. But then if I want to write an article, which I do quite a lot, I can just spread one window over both screens, and now I have a much larger canvas to write. I can probably do the same thing with two horizontal monitors, but that doesn't really help me, right? If you're writing an article, there's a lot of scrolling up and down, particularly when you're writing a long one with a lot of words. It just makes more sense to have a vertically stacked display. On top of that, more and more we're seeing vertical videos like Instagram Reels, TikTok videos, YouTube Shorts gaining momentum. So you might want to watch vertical videos on your desktop. It also helps that the bezels and gap between the two displays are relatively thin. So when you run something across two screens, it does give you a little bit of a more immersive experience. But of course, as you saw at the beginning of the video, the Geminos also is connected to a hinge that allows you to maneuver the two displays into a position that's more suitable for your needs. So if I'm writing an article, maybe I'll just have it like flat like this. But if I'm editing videos on Final Cut Pro, I would then put my timeline at the bottom screen, leaving my top screen completely free to show my gallery or my preview video. Right now I have a third screen in the form of a Mac, but if I don't have this Mac right here, I can just have the video preview right here, have my timeline down here, and I can tilt the screen down a little bit for a more ergonomic editing station, because I can just look down my timeline like this and then look up and move around and make the trims and edits that I need. Now, both of these screens look great. As you can see, they are 24 inches each, 1080p resolution, 60 hertz refresh rate. You can control color, temperature, screen brightness, all that via the buttons down here. Maximum brightness is 250 nits, which doesn't sound that high because most of our smartphones now go over 1000, but you'll be using this at home. This is not a monitor you're gonna bring out to the beach, so it won't be an issue. I'm also a fan of the matte coating, so it's nowhere as reflective as, say, my MacBook Pro screen. So for example, let me let some light in right now. You'll see that even though there's a lot of light pointing at the screen right now, it's not as reflective and glossy as it would be on a MacBook. My MacBook screen right now, you see how much more reflective it is? The Geminos is connected to a base with a 10-in-1 hub with all the ports that you would need. The ports include two USB-Cs, two USB-As, two HDMI, a TF card slot, an SD card slot, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. It also supports pass-through charging up to 100 watts. So right now, my 16-inch MacBook Pro is just connected to the monitor via a USB-C port, but it's also being powered by the power source that's powering the Geminos laptop. So I don't have to plug in the MacBook into power. That's not all. There's also a 1080p webcam here, which is okay. I think if you have a new MacBook Pro, you're gonna rather want to use the webcam of the MacBook Pro. But if you have an older laptop with a bad webcam, or like one of those Huawei laptops with the up nose webcams, you would want to use this 1080p webcam here. You also have built-in speakers. Unfortunately, the speakers are in the base and they kind of face away from the monitor. And combine that with my, this particular setup here in my mom's apartment, where I'm on this desk facing a wall, it kind of muffles the sound. But if I sit in a more open office with the monitor not directly facing a wall, the sound would sound a lot better. But here's how it sounds. So you kind of have everything in one hub. So even if you don't have a laptop, you can plug in like a Galaxy Z Fold 4 or Galaxy S23 Ultra and run Samsung DeX on this monitor. And another cool thing is that each monitor has its own separate output, so you can plug it into two separate things. So as you can see right here, right now on the top, I'm plugged into my iPad, while at the bottom, I'm plugged into my Z Fold 4 using Samsung DeX. As I said earlier, the whole thing is relatively lightweight at 20 pounds, and the monitor is actually quite thin, so when you fold it up, you can just pick it up, put it between your arms and your body and just move, if you want to move from room to room, or you're going to your friend's house and you want to bring an awesome desktop setup with you. So the reason this has been my favorite gadget is because it has made my work so much easier. I feel a lot more efficient being able to open one window, one Word document across two screens, or have multiple windows at the same time. Or when I'm editing videos, I can have this setup with my Mac on the side, and I can have a triple screen setup for Final Cut Pro. And the crazy thing is, this whole monitor isn't even expensive. Like, you look at something so well built, you would think it's like, what, $1,500? But no, on Geminos' website right now, it's actually on sale for $629 US. I think the official retail price was $1,000, but now it is available for $629 US. And it comes with free shipping in the US, so that's all you pay for this whole setup. So yeah, that's about it for this review of the Geminos, my absolute favorite like home setup right now. This thing is just so awesome. But yeah, thanks for watching. Take care.